as a relative youth, and you being based in the U.S., much has been made about those who are pursuing this case, and well, spokesmen and lawyers for both sides. One of the comments that I have heard is that, well, perhaps lawyers from this side or spokespeople from this side don't quite understand how it works in America. As you know, we're speaking against the backdrop of the allegation, which is yet to be proved and must be proved, that the president, in submitting his documentation to INEC, had engaged in forgery. Now, I've heard one commentary that says the mistake might have emanated from people taking the template that they are used to here and certificates and the value placed on the diplomas and those papers, and that it's different. Did you want to comment on that whole area?
Yes, Okoyori, I want to comment on that whole area, and thank you for starting it that way. First off, maybe because I'm a doctor, I like to give a general analysis of a problem. I think the problem with a lot of people in the opposition and many members of the media, sad to say, I think that problem is basic understanding of the use of English. They mentioned forgery, whereas Caleb Westberg never mentioned anything called forgery. Now, here is the phrase that they tried to twist and use to confuse Nigerians. They said that Auntie Angela, the lawyer for Atiku, asked if Chicago State University issued the INEC certificate to President Tinubu in 1979. 1979 is the year. That was the year.
Not the INEC certificate. Not the INEC certificate, but yes, his own, university certificate.
Yes, that is so. So she described it as INEC certificate in that deposition. So we were talking about the university certificate just for reference purposes, because it showed the guy a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. So and the guy said, no, we don't issue this certificate in 1979 in that year, because why? And if the guy had said yes, we would have to go and ask President Tinubu. We would have had to go and ask President Tinubu that. But you said you lost your certificate to General Abacha during your fight for the what's it called, for our democracy. So how come you now have that 1979 certificate to give to INEC in 1999 that was not created until 1998? So the point that he was making was that they don't make that design of certificate in 1979. But if someone whose certificate had been destroyed in the 90s went to reorder a certificate, it will be the design of the 1990 certificate that will be placed there. And one of the documents, the exemplars that CSU released was CSU 06 that had the same design and the same logo and everything and signatories as the one that the president submitted to INEC. It is there in part of their document. The name was blacked out. So when they try to confuse people with these things, I think it's just because they don't understand English. And then when they also said that they asked Carl Westberg also that, can you verify that this INEC certificate, quote unquote, was issued by Chicago State University? And Westberg said, because this document is not with us, we don't have the qualifications to make that assessment. That was what he said in the deposition. Okoyori, I can tell you that you don't have the qualification to make a diagnosis of diabetes because you are not a medical doctor. Does that mean that person does not have diabetes? No. So that is what the guy said in clear terms. But, if that deposition was a passage in secondary school English exam, that is for comprehension, was a comprehension passage, the Atiku and his minions would have had F. Like the president said during the election, Atiku is F level. That is why they don't understand the basic English that guy was saying. And, I would like to say this, that, I'll take us to church a little bit and talk about 1 Chronicles chapter 20, where they spoke about how King Jehoshaphat defeated Ammon and Moab. God told him that, don't be afraid of this vast army. The battle is mine, not God. I told them, And the king told his children to sing praises to the Lord, for his love endures forever. And on the day of the battle, the enemies were fighting themselves. And by the time King Jehoshaphat with the people of Jerusalem and Judah came out, the enemies had destroyed themselves and they just went home celebrating. That was what happened in this election. President Tinubu's sole route to Aso Rock was through Atiku's ignominy. He is now begging Peter Obi and Kwankwaso to come and join him. That proverbial campaign after election. Where was this sweet, nice, conciliatory Atiku all through last year and before the election in February?
Indeed.
His only sole ground to gripe is with his own intellect. I think he should sue himself to court for aggravated abstinence.